Yo, what is up, guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. We are back, and everybody, we're back with another fragrance review right here, guys. And today I will be talking about the latest fragrance coming out of the house of Roja Dove. That's right, one of my favorite houses, guys. And this is also the expensive one. All right, this is an expensive release, north of $1,000 from the house. I mean, this is nothing new. But of course, I'm sure at this point, a lot of y'all want to know what this $1,000 Roja Dove fragrance smells like. And there's not a lot of info online, at least on YouTube. And that's because these fragrances are pretty complex. It is not that easy to put a simple label or any simple feedback on these fragrances. So hopefully I have everyone's ears today as I talk about this latest Roja Dove fragrance. Let's go. Now, before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys, okay? Liking, subscribing, and watching the ads is a great big deal to this channel as we head towards 24,000 subscribers. Guys, we are, I believe, near halfway, so please continue all your support. All your support, guys, watching these videos and going through my over 700 No Hype videos really pushes me to continue on and get as many new stuff as I can. And trust me, guys, there's a huge list coming onto the channel, guys, of really amazing, even unreleased fragrances. So please continue all your support, like and subscribe. I appreciate all your support. And the fragrance that I will be talking about today is none other than Roja Dove, the latest Roja Dove. This is none other than Roja Dove, Lost in Paris. Yes, Lost in Paris by Roja Dove, guys. And this fragrance right here, really what got my curiosity in the beginning was the name itself, Lost in Paris. And Paris is definitely one of my favorite cities in the world to visit. And as the name says right here, as the title says, I mean, it is a good idea to actually get lost in Paris. I don't think it's a good idea to just have a structured tour of the city, because the city is actually very beautiful. There's so many different areas to really explore in that's maybe not in a book, or not in a tour guide. And so I really feel like Lost in Paris is a great idea. Checking out some random cafes, restaurants, museums, what have you. Cultural, historical places, just by accident, just by exploring. That's me right there, okay? So that whole thing piqued my curiosity about this fragrance. But also, another thing that piqued my curiosity was that this was really number 3 now of a series of gourmand releases by the house, all right? I mean, they had Oud Extraordinaire first, and that was a cotton candy, like heavy type of scent. And the second one was Pierre de Villet's Choo Choo or Chow Chow. And then this is the third right here, Lost in Paris. And so I don't know, maybe this is a departure of Roja Dove from, just getting, perfumes out to the men, because it seems like these, all three are kind of like gourmand fragrances for women, all right? Or at least that was my impression of it. Some people are saying that this is Roja's outreach to new money. Maybe that's the case. But, there are a lot of Roja fans that are not necessarily super rich. They really just love the house for their perfumes. Anyways, let's break this down right here. The concept of this fragrance really is not just being lost in Paris, but it's about the crêpe Suzette. And crêpe Suzette, guys, is a dessert, of course, that's made in Paris that pretty much has all the ingredients that is in this perfume. All right, and I will discuss that as we go. Pretty interesting, right? It is based on crêpe Suzette and, of course, being lost in Paris or enjoying this in the City of Lights. Anyways, I'm going to break down this complex scent. I'll be the first on YouTube to do it. Let's go spray this thing right now. Okay, guys, now let's talk about this fragrance right here, the latest Roja Dove fragrance, the latest expensive one as well. This is none other than Lost in Paris. Starting with this stunning opening. This opening is really nice, and I gotta say that the more I wear this fragrance, the more I am liking it, all right? And I was really wondering if Roja Dove, Master Roja, was gonna pull off the rabbit from the hat here, because it seemed like a lot of the notes were conflicting, or I was wondering how the heck he was going to put them all together, but actually came out pretty damn great. Right here in the opening, guys, you're going to get a medley of oranges. You're going to get some burnt caramel. You're going to get a butter accord, which I suspect is iris. And then you're going to get some rum. All right. Dang, it's amazing to hear. And let me tell you, as you wear it, it's amazing as you smell it. Okay. Now let's start with this opening right here. This one starts off with a medley of oranges, like I said. But of course, the opening is going to be mandarin. All right. Mandarin, zesty, mood awakening, mood enhancing mandarin starts this off. And you already know that the bitter orange and blood orange, these are ladder oranges. And the combination of all three is really there to cut through the thicker fall winter notes of this fragrance. Notably, that burnt caramel. Okay, so caramel is that thick fall winter gourmand, sweet, type of note right here that also comes with the orange. And I really thought that orange and, sweet, chocolatey caramel style, I thought that didn't work out, but I guess it does. It's a thing because, one of my wife's favorite like coffee places here in LA, actually they do coffee and orange, and it works quite well together. So this caramel right here, guys, actually has a dry feel. It's got this burnt caramel dry feel, although you can really smell it being caramelly, okay, sweet and caramelly. There's some dry feels here that kind of reminds you of like a dry woody like note that went in with the caramel. And then on top of this burnt caramel smell, you have the intro of the butter. And like I said, I feel like this is iris, but really with the emphasis on the buttery smell. And then the combination of that is actually sweet and savory at once, guys. And that kind of shocked me, having a little bit of that realistic like butter smell mixed in with this burnt caramel. All right, so caramel, little bit of butter, very unique, guys, as the thick fall wintry notes, and then a cutting mandarin from the get-go. And then, of course, later on, you will get some rum, which is interestingly also part of the crepe Suzette. And you get some nice boozy rum to really add some classiness into this mix. It's a gradient rum in the latter part of the opening, guys. And like I said, I can't say nothing. It is a stunning opening, guys. Not the same as other gourmands that you probably will ever try, but it is quite amazing. And let me tell you that to me, the intro felt unisex versus Choo Choo or Chow Chow, as well as Oud Extraordinaire, which was extremely feminine. I feel like here, because you have orange, you have blood orange, the caramel is actually not overwhelming, and there's that dry feel, like I said. And then, of course, you have rum. This one actually felt like a very unisex gourmand fall winter intro. And guys, with the cold, like I said, I tried this, say like a month ago in warm weather, and I really didn't like it. But I gotta say, 50s outside, cold weather is the best time to wear this damn thing, because actually the thing about the sillage and projection of this is that this is actually what I would consider really room filling. It's actually very, very strong. And if you ever get a sample or a decant, or you get the bottle, guys, you have to be very careful when you are spraying Lost in Paris, because really 2 sprays is all you need to create room filling strength. But also that means that when you're out there in the cold, it just fights that cold weather. So that's what I mean. I feel like this fragrance, the beastly part of it, the strength of it, the potency is actually there to combat, the cold weather when you're outside. But it is, I would say, the perfect time to wear this fragrance. And I really felt that I was wearing a very unique and expensive fragrance. So this is also, I would say, for those that want to have something different, because you will get something different from your traditional cotton candy or chocolate style perfumes for the fall winter. I think it's absolutely lovely for the connoisseurs, of course. I like this intro, like I said. Now, another thing about this fragrance, guys, intro to mid, is that you are going to get a lot of compliments. For me, the moment I wore this, I got immediate compliments. I got compliments everywhere I went. And there is that draw in nature as well, because you do have that caramel right there, that savory sweet caramel butter combo, and then of course that really nice gradient sensual rum. But here's the thing, guys. One of the ingredients here in this fragrance, Lost in Paris, that is guaranteed to rack up the compliments for you is going to be the sugar. All right, and this is white sugar Bianco Latte style, popularized by Bianco Latte, worn by many women. And this is one of those, ingredients here, notes here that will rack up the compliments for you. And actually, when I wore Bianco Latte, I never thought about the potency of the compliment getting properties of that fragrance. But finally, when I got to smell it from someone else, because of course it's getting popular with, people, and I got to smell it in the air, I was like, wow, I like that whiff of sugar coming in. And you can tell it's a certain person that's going through wearing that. And so I complimented that person, and guess what? That person was wearing Bianco Latte. So Roja took a page from that one. Maybe they did the research and they're like, let's add some sugar here, some white sugar here, Bianco Latte style. And this one intensifies into the mid, all the way till I would even say the start of the dry down. And this complements the whole mix of this fragrance. Again, you get that caramel, kind of like dry, dusty, burnt caramel. And then you have a little bit of that butter. Of course, the oranges are still going to be there, like I said. But, it turns from mandarin to blood orange as it heads towards a gradient. And then the sugar. All right, tons and tons of Bianco Latte sugar to grab the compliments and really balance the fragrance as partially uplifting because of that sugar. Okay, guys, now let's talk about the dry down of Roja Dove's Lost in Paris. And the dry down to me starts at the 7-hour mark, which means the first to mid, which is basically a medley. They're all together. The first opening notes and mid notes. Again, you have the oranges kind of shift gears towards the mid, but you get a long coverage of that, 6 hours of that. And the only note that really remains, I would say, past the mid is going to be the sugar. Of course, it's going to be the sugar. They're going to overload it with the sugar so that you get the Bianco Latte style compliments, guys. All right. Now, the dry down of this fragrance, I would say, is the nuit, or the darker version of what you get in the intro, because you have a combination of really nice notes, but mostly it's going to be your sweet and spicy notes of clove and cinnamon. So clove and cinnamon is going to be right here, guys, mixing in with the sugar, again creating that nuit, that darker nighttime version of this fragrance. And of course, you're going to get some musks. Now, it does have some ambergris, and I don't think it's the actual ambergris, but the ambergris here is actually a bit salty, and it kind of replicates the sweet and savory intro of that caramel and butter. So you still get sweet and savory / spicy toward the end, nighttime, with a prominent amount of cinnamon and clove, again mixed with gradient musks, mixed with ambergris. And there is vanilla as well, and I feel like the vanilla is kind of like the backup creamy vanilla that just adds some sweetness. So you have some sweetness from start to finish, but I really did feel the added spice here with the clove and the cinnamon. And I would say that this dry down here of Lost in Paris is, you can say, the masculine balancer for the guys that are thinking about wearing this, past 6 to 7 hours. You're also going to get a masculine balancer with the mix of spices, musks, and an underlying vanilla. Ultimately, how I feel about this fragrance is that I like it, all right? I am liking Lost in Paris, all right? And that's as a guy, all right? Because, again, I went through Oud Extraordinaire and Pierre de Villiers Chou Chou, and I really felt like those were straight up feminine gourmand scents. Lost in Paris, I think, is a unisex gourmand, a unisex unique gourmand fragrance done by the master himself, Roja Dove. And that's because of, again, a lot of different, I would say, balancer type of notes, from oranges to caramel. Maybe the burnt sugar was more feminine, I'd say. But then even on the dry down, though, you have cinnamon spice, you have like pink peppercorn, you have clove, you have like those dark masculine elements really coming into it, balancing this fragrance into unisex. Now, I will say this, though, that this is a grower, all right? This fragrance, maybe on the first, you might, think that this is really complex and you can't really put a finger to it. But actually, as you wear it more, and if you understand that Roja mainly makes exquisite upscale grabbers for people, then it'll kind of come together. The idea of, the crepe Suzette, Lost in Paris, the upscale part of Paris, and upscale lifestyle. I feel like it's gonna come together the more that you wear this fragrance. And the interesting thing right now is that Roja has this crazy promotion where they're basically giving it away. I think 10 ml for any purchase of a full bottle Roja Dove. And this is a smart move because you don't want to make this fragrance too exclusive to where only certain people will know what this fragrance is about. You're actually giving the chance for people to try it. And 10 ml 10 ml is a huge amount of Lost in Paris, because I told y'all really 2 or 3 sprays will create a beastly room filling smell on this fragrance. That if you had 10 ml, that might be just enough. And they're giving it for free right now. If you buy, like, I think a Roja bottle, any Roja bottle, I believe. So good on them for actually letting people try it. Because like I said, 10 ml, the more you try it, I think the more you'll like it. And like I said, this fragrance right here is perfect for the colder weather. And at least to me, that's what cold means. 50s, all right, hoodie or jacket weather all the way up to winter, because a lot of the elements of this fragrance is very cozy. It's very comforting and cozy and upscale. And so this would actually be perfect if you are actually wearing this in Paris right now, I would say, all the way up to the winter months. I mean, really like November, late November and December, January. I think wearing this would be amazing, guys. All right. And again, this is an upscale grabber, without a doubt. Upscale grabber to special occasions. But I feel like if you have a regular upscale lifestyle, you go to Beverly Hills normally, and you hang out at the Polo Club, maybe this might honestly become a fall-winter grabber. All right. And again, try it more than once because you might like it even better on the second or third try. Okay, now let's talk about total performance on this fragrance. And I told y'all that just a few sprays from this little thing right here caused a room-filling smell, very consistent, fights the cold. And so let me tell y'all that if you spray a little bit more, or maybe when you use the actual bottle or the Roja 10 ml sprayer, which sprays a lot more juice, I feel like you're gonna get a lot more, guys. And for me, guys, down the line, this fragrance lasted up to 12 hours. But the thing to note of is how strong it was, even down to the dry down stage. Okay, and I'm gonna attribute that to the mix of spices, the clove, the cinnamon, and the pink pepper, really making sure that you get a prominent amount of spices in the end, guys. And it was pretty strong. It felt like I was spraying a brand new fragrance, like right off the bat, another reapplication, and the strength was still there. Aura scent, even down to the dry down of Lost in Paris, and that was just on 2 or 3 sprays from this little vial, guys. All right, so performance on this fragrance is top tier, extra level. All right, consistent and strong. You'll have it for hours and hours. That is another big plus of Lost in Paris. And finally, let's talk about the pricing right here of this fragrance. Is it worth a full bottle? Now, to me, like I said, the best option is to get that free 10 ml. Hopefully that promotion is still out there. Get a bottle of Roja, you get a free 10 ml. I feel like that's the only thing I need, a 10 ml of this one. But if you are a, diehard Roja collector, it wouldn't hurt to add this to your 1100 bottle Roja fragrances. If you've collected all the PDLNs, you've collected Yagilev, and what's the other one, a Goodnight Kiss, I believe, and Manhattan. If you're used to collecting the expensive Rojas and you would like to add this to your list, I think that it's quite okay, especially if you are a guy, okay? Because again, this is amazingly unisex from start to finish, and it adds a little bit of that sugar bianco latte style, but all it will do is get you compliments as you are wearing this fragrance. But start to finish, it is definitely a unique unisex gourmand to wear, not like the previous 2 releases, Choo Choo and Oud Extraordinaire. So for the deep pockets people, I think it's okay. The title is also beautiful, Lost in Paris. So I think for deep pockets, this $1,300 purchase for a Roja collector is quite okay. But like I said, if the promotion is still up, go for the promotion, guys. Grab your regular Roja grabber and get yourselves a 10 ml of this one. Because of the potency, it's gonna last you quite a while in my opinion. And that is it. That is my no hype review on the latest Roja Dove fragrance, the one that goes at the higher tiers of the collection, the $1,100 to $1,300 Rojas. This is none other than Lost in Paris. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this breakdown of this lovely fragrance. Let me know in the comments below what y'all think of this fragrance, and should I review Choo Choo or Chow Chow and Oud Extraordinaire, which I do have right here. If you would like me to complete the trilogy, I will definitely do that. Comment below. And if you've tried this fragrance, let me know in the comments below what y'all think of it. I mean, for me, like I said, it grew as I wore, it grew on me. And I really think for the cold weather, it is fantastic. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you guys on the next video as I get back to work, unfortunately. But it is what it is. God bless. Take care. Peace.